Tell me about yourself.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Freimeyer, and I'm currently enrolled in Temple University's Fox School of Business. I actually made the decision to come to Temple because I was planning on playing soccer for their school team. It wasn't until a few weeks before I came that I decided that Division I sports was just not for me. It did influence my decision a lot to come here because of my desire to play soccer, but I do not regret my decision at all. Since coming here, I've realized that the Fox School offers many utilities that help students broaden their business horizons. Since coming here, the most useful one, in my opinion, has been the resume builder that I went to, offered by the Center for Student Professional Development. They helped me critique my resume in ways that I had never thought of before, and they even gave me a template that showed me how I should lay out all the information in front of employers. Possibly the most influential part of my life so far has been my long-term soccer career that dates back until I was 7 years old. Many of the life lessons that I still hold true today came from my high school soccer coach that I had the pleasure of playing under for over 4 years, and he was considered one of the top coaches in the state. The most team-oriented organization I have ever been a part of was my club soccer team. I had the pleasure of touring the country with them for over 3 years, and even sometimes outside of the country. Over those 3 years, we developed a very tight bond and sense of unity as a team. I began reading the Wall Street Journal while I was on tour with my team during the coverage of the World Cup because I realized that I could get information that I couldn't even get on ESPN News from the Wall Street Journal. My dad realized that I was taking such an interest in the journal, who he reads avidly himself, and started pointing out articles with business perspectives in them that he thought would be interesting to me, often involving soccer, the managers of soccer, and other money transfers that involve teams. Ever since then, I've skimmed through every part of the Wall Street Journal, not just the sports sections, but more recently the money sections and the business sections as well. And I've been doing that every morning ever since.
Tell me about a significant accomplishment in your life.
Perhaps my most significant accomplishment to date is winning the national championship with my club soccer team last summer. It was the last year any of us would get the chance to play together because we were all going off to separate colleges, and it really topped off our final season to bring home the gold in our biggest competition. The whole tournament was filled with memorable events, both on and off the field. Our coaches held the national championship to a much higher regard than some of our other tournaments, and it really showed in our daily routine. From the time we woke up to the time we went to sleep, myself, along with the rest of my teammates, knew exactly what we were doing, and we knew exactly who we'd be doing it with. And we knew, as well, that we'd be doing it as a unit. This 6-day stay in Arkansas was the most team-building event I had ever been to, and I had never felt closer to a group of people in my life. Though we thought it was a waste of time to have such a strict plan, it paid off in the end when we won the championship and gave us all a lot of respect for our coaches that we didn't have before, knowing there was, in fact, some method behind their madness. The championship game itself was one of the most memorable experiences of my life, in every sense of the word. I had never felt more like a professional. There were spectators lining the field as we walked up, people in the stands on both sides, news reporters, and cameras, as well as lights everywhere. However, our coaches got us right into the warm-up and didn't let any of this distract us. Soccer is a game that requires massive amounts of communication, especially when you play a position like I do. I personally have a position that has me in the center of the game at all times, both offensively and defensively. And though I was not known for scoring, who gets most of the glory, my job was more of a communication role. I had a whole squad of players that would have crumbled if I was unable to communicate with them correctly, just as I wouldn't have been able to do my job if they didn't do me the same.
Tell me about something you've learned in class.
It would be very hard to narrow down one specific thing that I've learned in class. Perhaps the most important information I've learned so far is to always strive to put in the extra effort. Being a top 20%er is something I had never thought about before taking my human resource management class, and now it is the motto I use to keep me motivated to do my work to my full potential. Being such an elite student doesn't only apply to physically doing my work, it also applies to putting in the extra effort in all aspects of school and life. Top 20%ers are not slacking in other aspects just because they're putting so much effort into their schoolwork. This motto has inspired me to stay involved in campus activities such as the soccer team I play for on campus, that is composed of me and a bunch of the new friends I've made since coming to school. I have also been urged to join student professional organizations as early as possible, and I am very glad to have been told so early on. By keeping myself so active in the classroom in my pursuit to be a top 20%er, I have learned remarkable amounts of knowledge about using business strategy and etiquette in the workplace. Until my human resource management class, I had never known how important it is to act professionally in the workplace, whether that means dressing appropriately and looking the part, or knowing your company's core values and goals. I have learned that a company's culture and values are the basis of how the company operates, and understanding them to the fullest is vital. Another major part of the road to becoming a top 20%er involves keeping up to date on current events going on both in the country and around the globe. Since early last year, I have been reading various sections of the Wall Street Journal every morning when I wake up, and recently my interest has only grown. Especially now that I am rewarded for staying up on the latest news and headlines the journal publishes through our Wall Street Journal quizzes in class. Overall, learning about being a top 20%er truly changed the way I view my schoolwork, definitely for the positive.